Hey guys, David Bain here with Bain Residential and Keller Williams. Whether or not you're an old pro at shopping for homes or this is your first time out, this video is going to get you all the information you need to help make the whole experience a whole lot smoother and where you end up with a home you want and you deserve. Alright, so when I'm working with my clients, what's the first thing we do? I always have them check their motivation. Why are they moving? What do they want to accomplish out of it? Are they looking for more room, better schools, closer to work? What sort of thing is the main driver that's causing this need to move, right? So we want to keep that in mind the whole time. If we're true to what the cause is and what our motivation is, we can use that to gear us towards the right home and to help keep us on track when it gets frustrating or we feel out of ease and we're not sure where to go. So always know your motivation, always check it, make sure that it's really what you're after. All right, next, I want to make sure that all my clients are financially prepared for the purchase, right? So what does that mean? If they're financing the purchase, then we want to make sure they're pre-approved, that they've talked to their lender and they've gotten the pre-approval letter, right? So now they know their capacity, how much home they can buy because it's been approved by the lender, and they know that when they go through the process of final financing, that there's very high odds they're going to be approved, barring any instances where the home has an issue or anything like that, right? On top of that, when we're giving an offer, we're going to hand them a strong offer, strong fair offer. We're also going to hand them a pre-approval letter so that the seller knows these guys are serious, they have capacity, they've been approved, this is a real offer, we're going to take it. In an environment like Austin where it's very competitive, we always want to make sure we position ourselves in the best possible way, right? And so big part that many people don't do, you'd be surprised, we're going to give them an approval letter saying we are ready to go, we can buy this home. All right, next thing I always talk to my clients about is making sure that they've made a list of what is very important to them and what is a must not have, right? So the first one, sure, a lot of people do that. I want a bigger yard, I want a bathtub in the master, I want walk-in closets. All that stuff is very important. What a lot of people don't consider is what do they not want? All right, so do they not want a big yard because of the maintenance, or do they not want a two-story home, or do they not want an electric stovetop, or do they not want, they don't want a south-facing home? You know, all of this stuff is very important. There are things that people want, and more importantly, what they don't want that can't be changed. And if they can, it's going to cost you a lot of money through rehabbing the house and totally remodeling everything. So make sure you know what you want. Make sure you know what you don't want and make sure you stick to those. Don't compromise, especially not early on. We're going to go for it and get what we need. Next thing we're going to do is look at your lifestyle, right? So what's the driver behind your life? Yeah, we work and we do this and that, but I mean, what is really important to you? Is it running around the trail 3 times a week? Is it having access to the green belt? Is it being near downtown and so you can go out and check out all the new clubs? Is it being on South Congress or in that area so that you have quick and easy access to some new restaurants and that sort of thing? What is the lifestyle that drives you? What adds value to your life outside of the typical stuff that we want to make sure to honor and look out for and make sure that the home you're getting meets those and helps facilitate those lifestyle choices, right? So big thing, don't compromise on it. It's all about the quality of life that you're creating for yourself and creating the best, biggest life you possibly can. You want to make sure you're working with the right realtor for you, right? So you want to make sure that you have a good relationship with this person, that he's responsive to you or she makes sure that she gets you the information she says she is when she's going to do it. You want to make sure they're knowledgeable about the area that they're showing you, right? Now, not every realtor is going to know every bit of information about every part of town, but they can find out. And if they're not looking for the information that you're asking, or they're not digging up what the HOA rules and restrictions are, or they're not looking at what the future use may or may not be, or zoning issues, then they're not doing their job. So you want to make sure that you're finding someone that's doing their job, looking out for you, protecting your rights, and going from there. You also want to make sure you're going to be willing to sit down and have a cup of coffee with this person because you're going to spend a lot of time with them and you're going to be relying on them, right? So find somebody you trust, listen to your gut, go with that person. All right, Lindy, we spoke about this a little bit earlier when we were talking about making sure you're financially ready for the home. So with lending, there's a lot of lenders out there today, right? We can find a lender online, we can find a lender at the bank, we can find a hard lender or a private lender. There's all sorts of ways to finance your home. What we want to do is stick to somebody that's going to offer you value, right? Added value. There's a lot of competition. Make them earn your business. So what do we look for? We look for somebody that is responsive, somebody that can turn around a pre-approval letter quickly, somebody that knows exactly what they need from you and is going to help facilitate you getting it to them, right? So when you call them up and you say, hey, I need a loan for this amount and this is what I want to get pre-approved from, they're gonna talk through the process with you. It's very important that you get someone comfortable with that you can actually get on the phone and you have a direct line to. All right, I highly recommend that. Very important. Always ask to get, obviously we're gonna go for the lowest rate, but really make sure you are getting the lowest rate. And then you wanna look for a lender with zero lending fees, right? So my clients have access to Keller Mortgage. Great product, I don't get any kickback from it, but I love referring my clients there because they save thousands on origination fees and any fees associated with the lending. And on top of that, Keller Mortgage gives a credit towards your closing costs. My last client that did an investment deal for $497,000 saved over $5,000 by using Keller Mortgage. Super easy process, super convenient, very responsive, and saved them a ton of money. So we found a house, we got the lender, we've got pre-approval letter, we like our realtor. What are we doing now? We're walking up to the house and we're looking for 5 things. 5 things that are going to get you in trouble if you don't know what you're doing or your realtor's not looking out for you. These are 5 things that are going to cost you a lot of money and a lot of time if you don't know what you're getting into ahead of time and you don't know what you're looking out for. We're going to look at the roof. We're going to look at the HVAC, the air conditioning and heating system. We're going to look at the plumbing, the electrical, and we're going to look at the foundation. These are the 5 things that are major dollar items and they're going to cost you time, money, headaches, and more if you don't know what you're looking at and you don't know what you're getting into, right? It may not be a deal killer. Your foundation could have settled, it might have some cracks. That's okay, we're gonna address that. What we don't wanna do is not realize it's a cracked foundation that's been settling over cast iron pipes and they're broken now, so now we have to dig out the front yard with a backhoe 3 weeks after you bought the property for thousands of dollars and several weeks of time. Worst case scenario, just be eyes wide open, look at those 5 things, and you're going to be fine. The other stuff we'll manage, we'll take care of. The little knick-knack things here or there, we'll get fixed or negotiate or whatever. So 5 things that can make or break a deal. So a big one a lot of new buyers ask is, who pays for this? Who pays for the buyer's realtor? I want to use this guy, but I don't want to pay somebody to help me find a house. Tell you what, the good news is that sellers will pay for the buyer's agent. So this is done through the listing agent. The seller pays the listing agent. In this area, it's 6% for the transaction. The listing agent then splits that with the buyer's agent, and that's how the buyer's agent is paid. So, good news is you don't have to pay for it. 2 different kind of models are out there right now. We have discount brokerages, and we have the typical full service brokerage. Discount brokerages are great, they serve a purpose. You just want to make sure you know what you're getting there. So they will give you back some of their commission at the end of the day to help put towards closing costs. So, wonderful, perfect. But you want to make sure that you understand that the service is not going to be the same and you're not going to get the personalized attention that you may and should and expect to get from a full service concierge realtor. If you want to know more about that, just send me a message and I'll get back to you and be happy to tell you more about it. So there we go. That's pretty much the whole gist of it. If you got all that in mind when you're buying a new home or you're setting out to start your search, you're going to be in good shape. Make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, message me. Check out my YouTube page. Get in touch with me. I'd love to help you out, talk it through. Even if you're not looking for a home right now, get in touch and I'd love to tell you a little bit more how I can help you, what's going on with the market, and answer any questions you have. So, I look forward to talking, look forward to seeing you in your new home, and we'll go from there. Thanks. David with Bain Residential.